On our journey through the minor tarot cards, we've arrived at number 5. 5 isn't a very happy number. In the major arcana of the tarot deck, number 5 is the Hierophant, the Pope. There are 2 monks kneeling in front of him, being very passive, very submissive. The Hierophant is very much about bureaucracy. If this turns up in a reading, quite similar to the Emperor, it's often an indication that the person you're reading for works for. if you have a lot of work-related cards, it's often an indication that they work for quite a big bureaucracy, which might be an issue for them if they're not very happy with working for, I don't know, a bank, let's say, the civil service, big bureaucratic organisations. Yeah, very definitely male energy, very entrenched. The 5 of Wands. When this turns up in a reading, it can be an indication of family difficulties, challenges. I'm trying to avoid words like dispute, but that was the first word that came to my mind. But challenge is always better than problem. 5 people who, if they pulled together, could achieve something. These 5 people are trying to make a pentacle. They're trying to make money. The suit of pentacles, coins, wealth. Yeah, it's they could, but they choose not to. They either need to elect a leader, or they need to actually work out a way of settling the differences and cooperating. This turns up a lot in work readings. I get most of my calls where people are worrying about work on Sunday evenings, where people are sitting there worrying because they don't want to go back to work on Monday morning. They've got a situation like this. You're probably linked to cards like the Hierophant, the Pope we've just talked about, King of Wands, the King of Swords, if you have quite a unsupportive boss who sort of leads from the front rather than nurturing people. Really, really hope that in the future bit you have something like the Chariot, driving life on, driving life forward. We only read what is there. We cannot change anyone's life. We can only say this is what it is. The important thing about this is not a card where your querent, the person you're reading for, is in a conflict situation with someone else. It is a situation where there are people around them, people around him or her, who are squabbling. I think is a really good word here. Squabbling, like children in a playground, and they've lost sight of what the issue is about. But it happens a lot in the workplace where it just becomes a hobby to people, really. And a lot of people don't want to resolve this kind of dispute, and what you can do is just step back from it, really. And let them sort it out themselves. With families, it's a bit more difficult because you don't just you can't just walk away from your family in quite the same way. 5 of Coins. Really wince when this turns up. You feel you've been left out in the cold. sort of goes a little bit with the Ten of Swords, the stabbed in the back. Step back a little bit and ask yourself, is it really that bad? That it is a card of poverty, as you can see from the card. It's snowing, it's cold, and the two people there in the foreground, you kind of assume that they're begging, really. Have been left out. You can see inside the church there is light, probably warmth, and they have been left out. If you take the base meaning of this, it's down to lack of money, not having enough work, not having enough money, but it can also mean emotionally being left out, emotionally being depleted. It is one of those darkest before the dawn cards. You really only hope that things will get better, or that the person will find coping mechanisms as a way of dealing with this. Is it time to move on from your friendship circle? If your friends are doing this to you, maybe what you really need is to get out there and make new friends. But of course, that's classic agony aunt piece of advice. And we are tarot readers, we are not agony aunts. We can't provide anybody with a quick fix. We can only say, this is where it is. Step back a little bit. Look at the bigger picture. Five of Swords. Swords, of course, often conflict. Swords, think of knives. Action, energy. Look at the sky. Very cloudy, stormy sky here. One party wins, one party loses. Quite different from the Five of Wands, where everyone is squabbling. This is very definitely, there he is. He's really gloating, isn't he? The man in the foreground there. As the defeated people walk away. It's a sort of Battle of Hastings 1066 kind of scenario, isn't it? That's it. You know, right, I have won, you have lost. You might find this with something like justice. Some situations in life are very simply, am I going to win, am I going to lose? If you're serious about being a tarot reader, you're going to get people coming to you for readings who are perhaps about to go to court or about to go to a tribunal. Yeah. If you're serious about it. It's not party fortune telling. This is about real people's real lives, and real people have real problems like this, where they are in these kind of you know, these kind of situations. Yeah. Perhaps a difficult divorce. Yeah. This card doesn't actually tell you whether your querent is going to win or not. So you really hope that you'll have something there like the Ace of Swords. Sometimes you can look at a card like this and say, well, does it have to be like this? Do you have to be in a situation where you win or you lose? Is there not a third way? Is there not some kind of compromise? Kind of hope so. Compromise is good, isn't it? Five of Cups. If you like Winnie the Pooh, I think of this as an Eeyore card. There he is. He's looking at what he's lost, and he's turned his back to the full cups. Five doesn't divide very well, does it? We get a 2.5. That's not very pleasing. This is about turning away, turning your back on love, but not necessarily in the romantic sense, more likely friendship, more likely. But someone in this situation, that's what they've come to you for. If they really feel that they have no friends that they can turn to, they'll come from a tarot reading because they're looking for light at the end of the tunnel. There are people in your life who care about you. There are people who want to reach out a hand to you in friendship, but perhaps they don't quite know how to do it. Yeah. Our next set of cards, the sixes, are actually much more joyous and much more positive. And of course, it's easier, isn't it, to read when you have that kind of upbeat, positive reading. Yeah. Do stay with me as we make our tarot journey. Hope to see you again soon, and please do subscribe to my channel. See you soon.